Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Snav, and y'all know my pronouns.
And my name's Harmat, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Clash of Kings, chapters 32 and 33. Sansa and Catelyn. In these chapters, Joffrey is a sadist. Shocker. And all of Catelyn's concerns are overshadowed by Renly's death. Okay, you go.
In Catelyn's chapter, Renly tries to slay, but gets slayed. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone.
Thank you for taking over. I just blanked for a whole last minute there.
Oh my gosh. I love when you say that.
Okay.
That's my favorite part of our episodes. I don't even know why. I just
Oh.
the way you say that, you're like, welcome back to the podcast. It just fills me with like a sense of, I don't know why that one part, but like we have to keep that forever.
Okay, I always feel so unoriginal because I'm like, get something.
No,
new
I
to
like
say.
it because
what
it's
is
like
this?
you're like, hey, we have this community, like, welcome back after like two, you know what I mean? It's just like it's like this nice, I don't know why I like it so much. Like it's pretty generic, like you said, but I like it. I like it.
All right, then I will continue. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Okay, so we have some business to discuss before we get into this. Oh, hang on. Who dies in these chapters,
okay,
Harmat?
So, I finally know. So, in these chapters, first of all, a bunch of Lannister people die. Like, a lot. I don't know any of their names.
Oh, we learned about their deaths,
yes.
right.
And then, Renly dies. And then, that... It's unclear whether the guy
like
who
Renly's
Catelyn hit with the thing died or not.
No, she says like because he was wearing armor, it didn't do much damage, but it got him off of Brienne.
Yeah.
But Brienne does slay like a couple of just the red shirts, like no name people.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So some are Renly people,
then,
some Lannister people, and then Renly, just for fun.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, I called it, but like not. I didn't. I called it, but I still did not see it coming. I don't know how that works, but it does.
Speaking of you seeing it coming, last week Harmat and I hung out in person.
What?
She exists outside of my computer screen. Whoa.
Oh my gosh! Right.
We for like how long we've known each other and how well we know each other, we don't actually see each other in person very often.
Yeah,
it's
just funny.
The weirdest thing.
Yeah.
So we hung out and we did the nerdiest thing, which was listen to the chapters on audiobook together. And I had this genius idea to just start recording and record her reactions. So there's like 15 minutes of recording that I have, most of which are just the audiobook playing, because most of what you had to say, you said at close to the end of the chapter.
Well, yeah.
So I'm going to share that with our listeners on our Discord server. So if y'all want to know how she reacted in the moment,
join the Discord,
check it out. I was thinking about, like, how do I want to share this with people? And Harmat was like, we should bribe them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, guys, I am a good I was about to say market lady. And then I realized that's not. I'm a good marketer.
I just had a vision of you sitting at like at a stall.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
just, I don't even know what you're selling. Maybe it's vegetables. Maybe it's like you're telling fortunes, but you're the market lady.
No, I am. I'm like for 5 cents, grab a bunch of bananas. I don't know.
You would be so bad at selling.
Shut up.
But aren't you a salesperson?
No, I am a good salesperson. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. Once you get, yeah.
Yeah, 5 cents. All right. Okay. So yeah, check out that recording. I'll probably cut it down because, like I said, the first 15. No, of that first 15 minutes, like the 10 minutes at the beginning are just like whatever. I will say she didn't like gasp or anything when Renly died. Just like kind of sat there taking it all in.
The problem with recording my vocal reaction is that I am such a loud and like expressive person that when I get shocked or when I get shocked, like for example when I'm reading something, it makes me be quieter, and oftentimes I'll have like silent reactions. So that's the problem with recording my reaction, is because I'm already so loud that when I get shocked, I
should have recorded your face.
No, yeah.
But you would have figured out that I was recording. Yeah, that's true. And I didn't want to do that.
So like it's just like that's kind of the drawback, because I'm already so loud that like I'm not gonna scream if something like that happens. I'm gonna like barely audibly gasp.
Process, just
not gasp.
Gasp. I just gasped at it.
Yeah, so yeah, but I had a lot of facial reactions during that. I had a
but there you had some fun things to say.
I was freaking out at the end for sure.
Okay, let's move on from that. The other thing. So a few episodes ago, I don't even remember when, you were about to guess what you thought my favorite characters were, like by the end of the series. But I just totally didn't hear you and totally spoke over you. And then I was listening to it like later and I was like, oh my God, what were you going to say? So tell us, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that your favorite characters are Tyrion, obviously, and I can't remember who I was going to guess.
You said Sansa.
I said Sansa. Okay, yeah, Sansa.
Yeah, but then you were also questioning yourself about Tyrion because I specifically said that you would be surprised to know who they were.
Yes.
And Tyrion isn't that much of a surprise.
Yeah, you clearly love Tyrion. So I think, like, yeah, something like that. I think also, you know what? I also think it's Sansa. Because I was thinking about this today, and I will mention this later. But, like, you know how you relate to Jon, and you're like, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you were like, I feel like Jon. And I was like, maybe that's why I love Jon. I feel like it could be a similar thing with Sansa, because I feel like I relate to Sansa. You know what I mean? It could be like
so in reality, I love you, so I'd come to love Sansa.
Yeah, that might be a very egotistical guess, but I think it's possible because I think subconsciously there was something there with the Jon thing too. Like, if you're the type of person that I'm attracted to, then like not attracted to, but like as like a friend attracted to, then like it makes sense that that's the type of book character I would be attracted to.
If you're a Nav fangirl, you would very obviously be a Jon fangirl.
Right, sure. Yeah, so I just felt like there could be some reciprocation there.
Okay, all right. I like that theory.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I've never examined it too much, so maybe I need to look into that. You know, that might be it.
Yeah. Well, I overanalyze every single one of my thoughts, so you're welcome.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, the other thing was that, I should have totally looked up who said this, but somebody on the Discord server in the spoilers chat you don't have access to, was talking about how in the last chapter with Arya, we hear about this term, warg, W-A-R-G. And it's just kind of thrown out there, but it's the first time we come across it in the series. So what do you think it means? Because it comes up again in this chapter.
I feel like is it like wolf? Like, that's the only thing that, like, makes sense with how it's used when it is brought up?
Right, because it's like an army of wargs, army of wolves. Yeah, I actually looked it up, and this word exists outside of the series. It doesn't mean the same exact thing, but it does kind of mean wolf outside of the series. Let's see, dictionary. No definition found. No, I was just looking at it.
It's called magic now. Just left the ether.
Yeah, well. Meaning. In Norse mythology, warg, but like it's spelled Vargr.
Okay.
Is a wolf.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah. So you think it's wolf
I
something.
mean, yeah. If it was anything else, I would be left confused because that's the only it just makes sense.
That makes sense.
It vibes.
Okay.
It's there. It's on the same frequency. It's good.
Okay. Give me one moment.
One moment, please. Your call has been transferred to a voice messaging service. Press 1 to leave a message. Press 3 to hang up.
What 3 to hang up?
I don't know, okay.
What happens if you press 2?
Well, then you enter into the Clash of Kings.
Okay, I found who it was on the Discord who brought up the warg thing. It was Nairb. I don't really know how to say it. It's Nairb.
Oh, that person
bringing
recently joined.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing it up. And I would have totally like blown past it and not realized it. So yay!
Oh my gosh,
that was weird. Okay, now what do we? Oh, summary. Hopefully, these are short chapters. You got this.
What are the chapters again? Sansa and Catelyn. Cool. We're good. But you were saying something. Right. You said, and then you diverged. You were like, speaking of calling things, and then you started talking about things that had nothing to do with
calling things.
Yeah. Because I said like, things. Oh, like I totally called Renly's death, and you were like, or was it the thing that you do where you say speaking of, but it's completely unrelated to what you're about to talk about?
Oh, I think I meant like I recorded your reaction to that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Not speaking of calling things, like speaking of, I was surprised by it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, right.
The other thing though is, I did want to talk about the fact that I think the audiobook does not do justice to the vibe that George R.R. Martin sets up in that chapter. Like reading it, it's like this slow creeping dread, and then like candles are going off. It's like getting cooler in the room, and like she's like, oh, that's just his shadow, but then it's his sword is in his scabbard. Like it's just so well written.
Yeah, I wish I could have read it before like hearing it, because this time, because I knew what was happening, I was just like, okay, yeah, the lights went off, like like he dies. I didn't like, I don't think I appreciated it.
I'm sorry, but then we wouldn't have had like a reaction. Like it's you gotta balance these things. I know. It's okay, but like we'll read it and you'll see what it's great. Okay. Ready to summarize?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Sansa is just getting brutally abused, and it's not fun, and we hate everybody in the room. And then, because Robb, won over Stafford person, and Tyrion's like, shut the fuck up, you little 2-year-old nephew, and takes takes Sansa and is like, hey, it's all good, buddy. Don't worry, though. You guys are still not gonna win, but, like, you won't have to marry Joffrey, so it's okay. And Sansa's like, take me back to my room.
Switch.
Catelyn is praying, spends a lot of time praying, has not eaten, is having a moment. Goes over to Renly because as she's praying, she has all these like moments of reflection and this realization about the whole Bran thing, and she's thinking about Cersei, and she goes to Renly and she's like, dude, trust me, let's go to Stannis, let's figure this out, let's form like a unified force, let's do this thing. And he's like, no. And then he dies. And
that's that. That's a minute.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
Yes, and then they have to run away because, and Brienne, the badass.
No, you don't get to say more.
Well, I did, okay? I get to break the rules because I want to.
No, you don't. How dare. Okay, Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, let's get into these chapters and make it short and sweet because they're not too long, and I don't know what this thing is.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Okay, so Mr. Clegane comes to
Wait, you gotta specify which
Hound. Mr. Hound.
Yeah, Sandor.
Yes. Yeah. Mr. Hound is like, yo, let's go. Like, don't keep Joffrey waiting. And Sansa's like, well, why not? What is happening? I'm scared. And Sansa's like choosing an outfit and it just, we don't like this.
Specifically one that
Joffrey
she knows will please Joffrey because it's, she's like, oh, he likes this color. Also, the fabric is really tight across my chest. Does not relevant at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Sansa's like, Hound, bro, like, what? Why? What is happening? Hound is like, your brother happened. And Sansa's like, okay, whatever. And then...
No, she's worried that Robb has harmed Jaime, and she knows if that's the case that...
she will be harmed.
Her life is in danger,
Yes. And so they, go to the Lower Bailey, and everybody's gathered there, and there's Joffrey and his people, and his, Kingsguard.
Joffrey's got a crossbow, which he has tested on a poor cat, which is just... off to the side, dying, mewling piteously. Just kill this cat all the way, or just don't. This upset me so much.
Poor kitty. And Sir Dantos is there, and Boris, Meryn,
he's riding a
all are there.
Broomstick horse.
Yes, they're all there, and what happened to my voice? Had a moment. Okay, so. Joffrey's like, you have to answer for your brother's treason. And, Sansa's like, oh my gosh, I had nothing to do with it. I don't know what's happening. What? And Joffrey's like, okay, so using vile sorcery, your brother found Sir Stafford with his army of demon wargs. #wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And, our people lost, your people won, and now I'm mad, so I'm gonna abuse you. Meryn, do the honors. And...
yeah. Lancel's the one who tells the story, and he's like, oh, using some vile sorcery, army of wargs, blah, blah, blah. They butchered them in their sleep. And then... feasted on the flesh of the slain. Just added,
Yeah, okay.
What can embellish the story? Yeah. Let's add some cannibalism, shall we?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then Joffrey's like, also, at this point, Joffrey's like, oh my gosh, I wish I'd killed your father, but he's like, I killed a man last night, and then he's like, is this Joffrey's first time, killing someone? Because usually he just makes other people kill them, right?
Sorry, say that whole thing again, because I just missed it.
Is this...
that's all
good? So Joffrey says, I killed a man last night. Is this Joffrey's first time actually killing someone himself and not just ordering someone else to do it?
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, could be, but,
he's gotten so many people screwed over that it doesn't even matter.
He's killed cats and bunnies, and it's not the exact same as killing human beings, but
he clearly has no regard for life. It's more of a coincidence that he hasn't killed anyone until now than
exactly.
I got you.
It's not much of a turning point. It's just a continuation of his evil.
But I was just like, this is the first time that he's like, I killed that person.
Yeah, it was weird though, because he's like, oh, your wolf savaged me. I was gonna say salvaged because we were talking about Lord, give me salvation, whatever. Your wolf savaged me, and she was like, no, that was Arya's wolf, but you killed Lady anyway. And then he's like, no, your father did that, although I killed your father. But then it's this weird thing where he won't take responsibility for Lady's death, but he because he didn't actually use his own hands to kill her, but he's taking responsibility for Ned's death, even though he also didn't physically kill him.
Either way, he was the direct result. But it's just like, it's better to be like, I killed, because like, you know, with a wolf, he's like, ugh, killing the wolf is so beneath me that, like, why would I kill a wolf? You know what I mean? With, like, with, like, Ned, it's like, I killed Ned.
It's a brag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess. But, yeah, so he killed, people came protesting, calling for bread, and he's like, what am I, some baker? Here's a crossbow, you get a crossbow, you get a crossbow.
Yeah, but he's so nice. He's
the worst version of Oprah.
Yeah,
he's
true. But he's so nice that he only killed the girl in her arm, or not killed the girl, he only hit the girl in her arm. How sweet of him. So chivalrous.
And he's like, I'd shoot you too, but my mother says they'd kill my Uncle Jim.
I love your voice for him. It's so bratty. It's so annoying. I love it. And he's like...
It's actually my true voice. It only comes out when I keep it hidden.
Right, totally. And he's like, okay, Hound, hit her, because you're being punished, since I can't kill you.
Another thing. Up to this, like, in the past, in one of, like, I think Sansa's first chapter for this book, she notes that he never gets the Hound to hit her. And we talked about how, like, maybe Joffrey has, like, an intuition that the Hound would refuse him or whatever. But this is, like, the first time we're actually seeing him be like, hit her.
I think it's also this, like, as Joffrey's reign is continuing, he's just, like, more and more, like, I am indestructible. I am this.
Yeah,
so he's
getting,
too confident. So now he's getting to the point where, like, he was, like, kind of afraid of the Hound, but now he's just like, fuck it. Like, I am Joffrey. You know what I mean? Like,
I am the king!
Yeah. It's like, the longer it is, the more it goes to his head.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. But then, at this point, Dantos kind of intervenes, and he's like, let me beat her, and beats her with a melon, which, like, while not the same as what happens later, melon, that's kind of gotta hurt.
Yeah, but, like, he can't,
bit,
like,
right?
hit her with a feather. No one's gonna let him do that.
Yeah, and everybody's laughing at her, because she's covered in melon juice. And she's just...
But also at this point, I think this kind of proves what we just talked about, like, the Joffrey developing into more and more just like, I'm Joffrey. So I feel like, because Sansa's like, oh my gosh, Joffrey, just laugh at this. And I feel
laugh and be satisfied.
Yeah, I feel like a couple months ago he would have, and it could have been the end of that. Or not been the end of that, but because, you know, this is such a big deal, that I don't think it would have been the end of it, but maybe he would have laughed and then been like, okay, now someone actually go hit her. But I feel like just the fact that he didn't laugh is also just like, now it's just like he craves more as he gets more and more like egotistical and annoying and awful. And
that is such a terrible thought, because Sansa still has to deal with him.
Yes.
You suck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it said that she lost count of the blows as she was hit again and again.
Yeah, so Boros Blunt, I think his name is. Stupid name. Sorry. Terrible name, terrible guy. And he first punches her. This 12-year-old child, this grown-ass man who is, like, probably, you know, armored and is wearing a gauntlet, punches her and then starts hitting her with the flat of her blade. Yeah. And it's just so terrible. It made me want to stab some people.
Yeah. It's truly horrifying.
Yeah, and Joffrey's like, oh, leave her face. I like her pretty.
Well, I like you dead,
Rip
but we can't all have what we want.
Make her naked.
Like, calm down. Yeah. It's...
At one point, like, the Hound is like, enough, but he's like, no, it isn't.
I love
Boros,
your Joffrey
make her
voice.
naked.
I love your Joffrey voice.
It makes me laugh, but
it's like the perfect
amount
laugh. Makes me want to punch you through the screen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just enough that I'm like, get lost. I don't even want to talk to you. Yeah.
And
you know what? I had a thought. You know, like, how the Hound was kind of, like, bullied by his brother? And all that, like, in this altercation, like, do you think he was, like, kind of, like, because usually he just, like, lets whatever's happening, but in this moment, like, was it reminiscent for him of, like, his childhood, so he was just kind of like, okay, like, get lost?
Maybe, but also this is, like, it's much more severe than what
they've done
Sansa
before.
Has had to deal with before, yeah. So, you know, before, if it was, like, a slap here and there, he would put up with it, but now they're, like...
Repeat.
You know...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very severe physical abuse.
This is, like, organ damage could result.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, at this point, Tyrion comes in.
Boros, ever so obedient, rips her dress, and she's basically naked down to her waist. And this is when Tyrion walks in. What is the meaning of this? The imp's voice cracked like a whip. I love that.
What?
I wanted that to be a real whip.
I don't have the imp's voice cracked like a whip. I just have, what is the meaning of this? Suddenly Sansa was free.
Whoa! Yeah. I have the imp's voice cracked like a whip.
I don't have that.
I thought that sentence had such...
That is a really good sentence. What? I don't have it.
What? Okay, folks listening, what do your versions have? Let us know, because
damn,
I felt that.
I want that line. That's rude.
Yeah, even though it says his voice cracked like a whip, I wanted it to be a real whip that he cracks across Joffrey's fucking face, and
his one-liners in this were the only salvation of this chapter.
Yeah. I was like, oh damn, but then also I would remember like Sansa just like shivering sitting in that corner, and then I'd be like, oh no, but then Tyrion would say something else great, and then I'd be like, oh damn.
No, totally. It was, I totally felt that. But Tyrion was just like, literally, what the fuck? Like, you call yourself a fucking knight, pretty much, to Sir Boros, and
what sort of knight beats helpless
And Sir
maids?
Boros said, the sort who serves his king, and it's like, well, you're not supposed to serve a king. Like, what do you... That's literally your problem. Well, the fact that you... What?
Oh, like, you shouldn't be in this position in the first place. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
But,
And, and he's like, okay, someone give Sansa something. So she's like, give her something to cover up with, and then Hound.
Now we have established that it's Sandor Clegane. It's just that when you start a chapter and it's like Clegane, people may think that the Mountain's
okay, yes. So Mountain like gives her his cloak.
No, you did the thing again.
Mountain gives her. Oh wait, Hound gives her his cloak. Oh my, they're just one and the
she's
same.
Just clutching it, and Tyrion's like, you know, she's gonna be your queen. Have you no regard for her honor? And he's like, I'm punishing her. She has the wolf of
She has the wolf of blood.
She's the wolf of blood.
I mean, wolves have blood.
She has the blood of a wolf. Yeah. And Tyrion says, and you have the wits of a goose.
Yes! This was such a good line. When me and Now were sitting in person, I like laughed at that part. It was good. Like, the other one-liners were really good, but, like, that was the only one where I just, like, laughed, because it just... It got, because it just, like, got me. I was like, yes.
And he's like, you know, Aerys Targaryen did what he liked. Hasn't your mother told you what happened to him? And Boros Blunt harumphed.
I love that.
And this is, like... This word is new to me, and it means loudly clearing your throat.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So Nav harumps before recording?
Oh, yeah. Because I'm always like, there's something I can't stop clearing my throat before we start recording. It's a problem.
And Tyrion's like, I'm not threatening the king, sir. I'm educating my nephew. Bronn, Timett...
Yeah, because Boros Blunt, like, accuses him of threatening the king, and then
he threatens him.
He says, Bronn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bronn, Timett, the next time Sir Boros opens his mouth, kill him. Now that was a threat. See, sir, the difference. See the difference. Yep. But then the next thing is Boros is like, the queen will hear of this. And I'm like, why isn't he dead yet? Like, why is he still standing?
Right,
like,
that's true. He opens his mouth.
Do good on your promise, Tyrion. And so Tyrion's like, yeah, let's call the queen. What do you think your mother will think, Joffrey? And he's speechless. And Tyrion's like, yeah, learn to use your ears more and your mouth less.
Or your reign will be shorter than I am. Yes. Yes. Pop off. Love it.
And Joffrey's like, fear is better than love, mother says.
And it's like the fact that Cersei says that.
Exactly. So it tells you a lot about Cersei as well, not just about Joffrey. Yeah. And just terrible. And Tyrion's like, okay, Bronn, Timett, take her away.
Yeah. And they take her to the Tower of the Hand. And she's...
Clean her up, and the maester comes and sees her. And
we have a new maester, Maester Franken.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we told if he's like the new Grand Maester or?
Oh, we aren't.
You gotta imagine maybe there's probably more maesters than just the Grand Maester in the castle.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know if we know this guy is the replacement or just like one of his other people.
Right, that's true. He probably isn't, because otherwise Sansa would probably know.
Yeah, because like it would be a big deal. I don't know.
That's fair.
But it could be, and I might just not remember. So ignore my brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Sansa like takes the little medication he gives her, and then she goes to sleep, and then she wakes up again, and she opens the door, and
Chella
is there.
Chella of the Black Years is there. And Sansa, she's like, oh, she was wearing 3 necklaces, a gold one, a silver one, and an ear one. Or a human ear one.
Yeah, right. And she was like, hey, like, the half man said you're not supposed to leave. And Sansa's like, ugh, whatever. And then she realizes that
I wanted to go pray in the Godswood, because she's, she wants to go see Danto so that she can beg him to take her home now before it was too late.
Yeah. Sad. And
so she returns to the room, and this is when she first like actually takes account of her surroundings and realizes that she's in Arya's old room, and it's like so sad.
And she's like, okay, whatever. And then she's like drinking water, eating an olive, and Tyrion comes in. Tyrion's like, hey. And this is the first time we've actually seen them like have an actual conversation. Like, even though they're like the only 2 perspectives.
Well, they had a conversation in the very first.
Yeah, but like they didn't like talk about anything. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and they were in front of people. Yeah. This is like the first.
And this is the first time we have.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. What am I saying? This is the first time, I think, in this book where we have a conversation where we have both of those people's point of views.
But in this chapter, it's only Sansa's point.
No, but it's like, it's like...
But in general, we have to, Is that true?
I think in this book, yeah. Because the other people, like, haven't seen each other in millennia. Because everyone's at different places, except for them.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's so weird, right? Because in the first book, it would be like Catelyn and Ned narrating the exact same thing that just happened, the conversation between them,
Yeah, and then when Ned went to King's Landing, it was like him and the girls, like they were all in the same spot.
And now they're all separated. Sad. Ugh, whatever. Everything is sad. I hate this book. I'm gonna cry. Just kidding. It's fine. It's okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel? ? Okay, moving on. So, Tyrion comes in. They finally get to have a conversation. And so, they exchange pleasantries, and then Tyrion's like, let me tell you why Joffrey was being the way he was. So, your brother came upon my Uncle Stafford, who, like, had his host at Oxcross, which is really close to Casterly Rock, and, Robb, like, definitely won.
Won a crushing victory.
Yeah, Robb definitely won. And, and this entire time Sansa's, like, internally thinking something, but then she's saying the opposite, because she, has to. And she's like, oh my gosh, that sucks.
Rob will kill you all. It's terrible. My brother is a vile traitor.
I love this little dichotomy. And, yeah, so at this point, Sansa kind of points out, like, oh, Lancel said that Rob led an army of wargs, and Tyrion totally dispels this kind of rumor. He's like, bruh, no.
I'm sure he had his direwolf with him, but that's probably as far as they went.
Which is also why it makes sense
we
that it's
find
a wolf,
out
because that relation wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah.
But like also could it be like Nymeria and like all of them? Could it?
That Rob had Nymeria and all of them? Like all of them,
like
who?
The wolves. Because remember, like, Nymeria was like gathering a thing near...
Oh, Nymeria's own... Okay, I thought you were talking about, like, the other siblings.
Oh, no.
Wolves. No. Oh, yeah, that could be, I guess. But we do, like, Tyrion kind of tells us what happened. He says that they, let the horses loose and then kind of sick the direwolf on them, and then the horses trampled most of their horses. Horses trampled most of their horses. And that's basically how they won.
Love it. Pop off.
So it could be or it couldn't be. We don't really know.
And a lot of people died. A lot of land.
Yeah,
clan
Tyrion
peeps.
is like, sorcery is the sauce fools spoon over failure to hide the flavor of their own incompetence.
That was a good line.
Which makes you think about what people will say about what happens in the next chapter.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was going to be like, oh yeah, a shadow came and killed Renly when there were two actual human beings in the tent.
Yeah.
Oh, also, hang on. So he's suggesting sorcery in this. How does sorcery have to do with wolves? What does sorcery have to do with wolves? How does sorcery...
Literally, well, they do mention at one point where they're like, it's said that they had the power of the... Like, what did they say? Oh, those who survived are spreading wild tales and swearing that the old gods of the north march with your brother. So maybe that's the relation to, like, the sorcery.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise that would literally make no sense with the wolves thing. So it's like, ooh, wolves / northern powers, magic.
Yeah. Magic.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So...
and
blah,
Lannis,
blah, blah, everybody died.
And pretty much Tyrion is like, dude,
a bunch of people were captured.
Yeah, but he's like, okay, yeah, like whatever. It was a raw host anyway. Like we already knew that this wasn't like a particular. This host wasn't made up of like Tywins and Jaimies. You know what I mean? And so like, but that's not like I'm not surprised that Rob won. I'm just surprised that Rob got there. Because we have people at the Golden Tooth who said that he didn't pass. So how did he get from the river places to there without taking the river road? What? I don't understand.
You tell me.
I, like, literally have no idea. This makes no sense to me. Because we literally talked before about, like, they need a road. It's an army. They can't just, like, take a random fun little path. But, like, that's literally the only road. Right?
Yeah.
So, but, what?
Magic?
But they can't, like, go the, like, I don't get it. I have no idea. Like, could they, like, take one of the, okay, are the forks like the forks of the river?
Are
okay,
rivers.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so it can't be one of the forks, because that's literally the river. Well, they could go on. Could they travel using... No, but they don't have the resources. Ugh.
What were you gonna say? Travel
like
using...
Like the river, like boats
place.
And stuff. Like, I don't know.
But I don't think there's a river in that area.
Okay, yeah. I have no idea how he got there. Like, I literally have no idea. Maybe, like, no, but that still doesn't make sense. Because I was thinking, like, maybe they did pass them, and, like, maybe the Lannister people were like, oh, like, let me just, like, go, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they weren't paying attention, but it's like, it would take a long time for them to pass. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like one person's passing, and if someone wasn't paying attention for that, you know what I mean? Like, that's not plausible either. So I have no idea what is happening in this book. Anyway, moving on. I had a identity crisis.
Blah,
about
blah,
that.
blah. What do you think about my nephew? Kingly nephew. And she's like, I love him with all my heart. And he's like, oh, you sure about that? Oh, yes, my love is greater than it has ever been.
He's like,
what
I don't know what that voice is. He's like, someone's taught you to lie well. You might be grateful for that.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh no, he's like, have you flowered? And she's like, yeah, gross question, but no. But he's kind of happy to hear that, because he's like, I don't intend that you ever wed Joffrey.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Do you think that's true? Later he says that
he'll just
once,
like send you.
The North is back in,
I think
he'll send her home.
Well, no, I don't think that'll actually happen, because as I've predicted before,
but that's his intention
for sure. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that, though. That'll be like one of the, on his list of priorities, that'll be the thing he has to drop.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's like, why do you go to the Godswood every day? Like, what are you praying for? And she's like, I pray for an end to the fight.
Yeah. You sound more like Ned Stark than you do Sansa.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that voice. But yeah, she's like, yeah, no fighting. And he's like, there will be another battle.
Yeah.
And that will settle the issue. And it'll be Robb.
Just don't be too hopeful, though.
Yeah, because, like, trust me, like, Tywin is not Stafford, and a battle is not a war. So... But that's 2 battles so far, so I mean, I'm kidding. Let's not be optimistic. But yeah,
Yeah, Robb has not lost a battle so far.
Yeah, which is terrifying, because if, like...
It's bound to happen.
Yeah, because if it's like they've been losing the entire time, then the arc is, okay, losing, win, But that's definitely not the arc here, so I'm scared.
It could be winning, losing, and then win.
No, that's not gonna happen in this book. Or this series.
So you just expect him to lose.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what I expect. Just changes. But yeah, so he's like, okay, cool, don't be too hopeful, you're gonna sleep here, I'll give you some guards. She's like, they're terrifying.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be, so well guarded that she can't sneak out with Dantos. So she's like, oh, they scare me, and also I can't stay here because my father's men's ghosts will haunt me.
Yeah.
Actually, she says their ghosts would give me terrible dreams. And Tyrion's like, yeah, I'm no stranger to nightmares.
That's why he doesn't sleep.
What nightmares do you think? Do we know? I guess there's that whole, like, trauma from when he was married.
And we know that he, like, tries not to sleep, so.
Yeah.
But we don't really know anything beyond that.
It's true. But yeah, so he's like, okay, fine. You can go stay in your own room, I won't make you be guarded by these guys. Yeah. And that's the end of that chapter. Predictions. I totally forgot to think about questions.
Sansa's gonna die. Just kidding.
I can't think of anything specific. You don't know how Robb got there. Sure, that's like one.
No.
How do you think Joffrey will react when he hears of Renly's death?
Ooh. I think that Joffrey will be like, ugh, I wanted to kill Renly, but whatever, now that it's already happened. I don't think he's really gonna react. I think Tyrion's just gonna distract him with, like, a bigger bow or something. And Tyrion and Cersei will be like, okay, this is a concern, because now, like, we were hoping they would both, destroy each other's forces, but
kill
now
each other,
the one who survived has all the forces, so this is bad. And yeah. And I have more thoughts about that, but I'll present them later.
All right. What about the Sir Danto situation? Do you think he'll whisk her away?
I think he'll try. I don't think it'll work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't think of any other questions. We'll move on, and we'll come back if something comes to us. All right. Catelyn.
Cool cat is praying in the...
Okay, let me do this one. Cool. Yeah. Cool cat.
You know why it's funny? It's because Nav has put cats at the beginning of each chapter title in my book.
To hide them. Yeah. It's cat-shaped sticky notes.
Not cats,
which
in
I'm
the book.
Almost out of. Yeah. Okay, what? Oh, yes. Okay, so Catelyn's in that sept in that village.
It's a pretty pathetic sept compared to what she's used to.
Yeah. And, you know, she's thinking about her teachings that she's got from her septons, which is like, you know, 7 aspects of the same god, but they're also one and the same and can channel each other's powers.
Yes.
All that.
I really like that.
I do like that the septs have...
There's 7 gods and they're 7, and it's like... But it's like nice that it's like they're just everything. I like that.
Yeah. And I like that their sept, which means 7, has 7 walls, you know? Totally. I kind of like this all tying it all together. And she's just looking at their faces, and, you know, the father's bearded, the mother is smiling, the warrior has a sword, the smith has a hammer, the maid is beautiful, and the crone is wise. And then there's the stranger, neither male nor female, yet both, ever the outcast, the wanderer from far places, less and more than human, unknown and unknowable. Which is... How does the stranger encompass any of the others?
Yeah.
Or how do the others encompass the stranger? Because I think the stranger is kind of the death god, or like the... something like relating to death, you know?
Right.
So I guess if like the mother kills someone, she's channeling the stranger within her, right, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. So she's just, you know, praying, and there's just some cool details. Like, there's the fact that these, because they're just kind of like crude charcoal drawings, there's no statues or anything. They're kind of arbitrary, and she can kind of place her own images onto them. And she notices that there's like a crack in the wall where the mother's eye is, and she's like, oh, it looks like she's crying like I am always.
Yeah.
And she sees the like Renly and Stannis and Robb and Robert and Jaime and Jon and the warriors. Yeah. I remember when we were listening to it, we were both like, wait, Jon? Yeah. And then but like kind of reading it along here, the way they're listed are in pairings, like Renly and Stannis, Robb and Robert, Jaime and Jon. So these are like people she acknowledges are warriors, but also doesn't love them. Definitely. You know, like she has no love lost for Jaime. Yeah. And she even glimpses Arya in those lines for an instant. And she's remembering her own but she mother who died. There. What do you mean she has Robin? In the warrior? Sure, he's a fighter. He's fighting all these battles.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I meant like with Jaime and Jon.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying all of them, and I was like, I don't like that.
No. Like Renly and Stannis had paired together, then Robb and Robert, and then Jaime and Jon are paired
It makes
together.
sense, because like Jaime is definitely one of her biggest enemies, and Jon also is, as we know from her lovely farewell speech.
Yeah. So her mother, who died trying to give her father a second son. So yay. And
I remember when she was like, way at the beginning of the first book, she was like, I'm gonna give Ned another son. And it's just like...
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah. I just, it was an interesting
that's
parallel.
like her life purpose.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of feeling a little woozy, and she's like, oh, I forgot to eat today. I guess that's why I'm having all these hallucinations. Right, yeah.
And then she kind of like sympathizes with Cersei a little bit.
Yeah. So she's like, you know, would I do the same for my kids? And even when Ned found out, like when Ned had that conversation for Cersei, he had the same thought. These people are so empathetic. What is with you? Just like be mean already.
But that's why we love the Starks. That's Ned, and that's why Ned, like, you know, kind of tried to offer Cersei that second option, but like also he should have been smart enough to know that she like obviously wouldn't take that. But he did try. I'll give him credit there.
Yeah. And then it got him killed. So.
Yeah. Good people don't. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's probably why Jon Arryn and Ned both died. And also Bran! Oh my god, he probably knew. That's why they tried to kill him. So she's like putting all these things together.
Yes, she is.
And then she just like, hey gods, y'all just please take care of my family. Right, yeah. I was gonna say like the little I have left, but really the only person she's really lost is Ned, but it feels like she's lost more because Arya and Sansa are captured. Or
it's not like they're all together and the only one not there is Ned. Like, that's easier to get through than full-on separation.
Yeah. It's almost easier to know, like, for sure what has happened to Ned and, like, be like, yeah, he's dead. Whereas, like, it's so ambiguous with Arya, for example. You know, they don't even know where she's at.
Yeah, I mean, they think they know where she's at with the Land Clan, but...
Yeah, that's true.
But they still don't know what's happening.
They haven't heard any reports of them. Yeah,
true. Yeah, but then she's like, she's like, show me the path I must lead, and she like prays to each of the gods, and then Robar's like, we gotta go to Renly's camp again.
Almost done.
And then they
roll up and or ride up. And it's all dark because, you know, it's just before dawn. An army of gray men on gray horses beneath gray banners. Imagery, I guess. But you know, among all of this, Renly's tent there's like a bunch of light coming out, and it's like really standing out. They go in there, and he's getting armored by Brienne. And a couple of his lords are there just discussing strategy. And, you know, he's just giving them orders. Some notable things he says are that if Stannis dies, make sure, you know, his corpse isn't disrespected in any way. Which is funny, because now I'm wondering
how that's going to look in the other way.
If Stannis will respect his corpse. I don't know. That's true. I was thinking, because his tent is on fire at the end of this, will there even be a corpse to salvage,
right,
you know?
That's true.
Salvage, the word of this word of the day.
True.
And Tarly's like, oh, what if he yields? And they're all like, he's not going to yield.
He would have eaten rats. You think he's going to yield for us?
Yeah. And he caught when he was under siege all those years ago, he caught a couple of people trying to escape, and he was gonna flank them from the catapults. The only thing that stopped him was the thought that they might have to eat their bodies at some point.
Which,
looking rough.
Yeah, Stannis is an interesting man. Yes.
That's the second time in these two chapters that cannibalism has come up.
That's true.
But also, okay, what is your stance on cannibalism?
What do you mean? What is my stance on cannibalism?
Okay, see, I think I have a stance that some people may not agree with.
Okay, what is your stance?
I think if like you're like, you know, if you're in a situation where you're starving and the other person just dies, like, you don't kill them for the purpose of eating them, but if they happen to die, I wouldn't be mad if somebody ate them. Yeah. Like, you know, you gotta survive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I just, like, I mean, like, I guess it's, like, one of those things where, like, I've never been in a situation like that, so I can't imagine that, like, I can't imagine eating someone. Up. You know what I
mean? I think most people, for most people, it wouldn't come up. And you and I were both vegetarians, so, like, we're just,
it definitely wouldn't
we
come
don't
up.
even eat meat.
Definitely would not come up, yeah.
You know? Like, it would first come up to, like, eating meat. Like, that would be our first, like, hurdle to pass before we ever even get to, like, human meat.
It's just way too many steps ahead,
but, yeah, but still,
I do know what you mean, because I feel like it's, like, at some point, it's, like, okay, is it really, like, okay, how do I say this? Like, okay, yes, like, obviously, morals are important, and you need to, like, follow your morals, but if
somebody's already dead,
that's what I'm saying, like, at some point, it's, like,
the purpose of eating
them.
At
some point, it's, like, yeah, you're just thinking about it, you're like, okay, eating someone, don't do that. But it's like, at that point, it's like, it gets
I think it also is, like, I personally am, like, not, like, I think the body is just, like, a vessel. Like, the person is not there anymore. It's just, like, a, you know, whatever, a shell. Yeah. It's just meat. But for some people, I think spiritually the body is just as important as the spirit of the person, so I get all the things, but that's like my personal stance, which
you're like, eat them.
I felt like discussing eat them up. For some reason.
Get the forks, let's go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying, if somebody were in that kind of a dire situation and they did it, I would be okay with it. And I think, like, we're more likely to encounter that in, like, literature like this than in real life. Yeah. You know?
Right.
Like, if Jon Snow gets stuck beyond the wall and has to eat his bro, I don't know. I'd be like, yeah, why not?
Gosh. Yeah. Anyway, we've focused way too much on this. We need to move on from these details, or else this chapter is going to be 3 hours long. Okay, moving on. Barristan comes up again.
Oh yeah, if he's by Stannis' side, make sure you spare him, because that dude needs a king to serve, and if he's not with, you know, all of these other people, he's gotta be with Stannis. Right.
And
do you think he's with Stannis? I don't
think so. I don't remember who I actually...
Like, we didn't see him all that, like, time we spent, like, all that time, like, 2 chapters we spent with Stannis,
I don't think so. And I remember we've heard about him a few times, and I don't remember who I had previously thought he went to. I don't know. Maybe he...
I can't remember. I think you did say Stannis, because you were like, he's the next rightful king, you know, and Barristan's the rightful king kind of guy.
Oh, I did say that. Not me backing out of my word. Okay, you know what? Yeah, since the last time we saw him, he magically showed up. Yeah.
Or he could just be, like, dead. I don't really know.
He's definitely not dead. I don't buy it.
All right. Okay, moving on.
Catelyn's like, hey, Renly, I think that here's why Bran died, so we should all make a great council and discuss this like never before. And Renly's like...
Not never before.
Like, in a while. In a while.
Yeah. Not seen for 100 years.
Yes. And she's like, let the assembled lords of the 7 kingdoms choose who shall rule them after we prove that, like, you know, the Lannisters are usurpers and here's all awful things they did to, like, keep their position. But, like, why? But, like, letting only the lords vote? That's just, like, being like, here's all the rich people.
You think she's like, gonna
vote?
Yeah.
She doesn't care. Yeah, that's fair.
This is from her subject position, and she does not consider the, you know, regular people of Westeros to have a voice. So
yeah,
and
so
Renly's like, screw that. We're just gonna see who is stronger. So last time he was, he's like, oh, I want a system based on merit. And here he's like, but not if somebody else gets to decide it.
Yeah.
So, like, I think he's just more of, like, whatever gets me there is what I'm
behind. For sure. Yeah.
And did you see Haley posted, like, a whole explanation of, like, the primogeniture and the different types of primogeniture? Yeah. I don't even remember all of them, but that was cool.
Join the Discord if you want to see that.
Right. Wow, you were, like, so aggressive with
I'm
the plugging.
not aggressive. I'm letting them not forget. You can't let the people forget. Okay. Anyway,
for how, like, aggressively you plug it, you don't spend a lot of time on
what do you mean? Okay, it's because you guys always talk in the spoilers channel. There's nothing for me to respond to. Okay,
true.
If people would text me in the non-spoiler channel, I would respond, but no one cares.
Okay, I will tell you and ask you things in the non-spoiler.
Okay, because I'll like you're like
that was
oh my
gosh,
bad. The spoilers chat's going off. I'm like, great. Have fun with that.
I'm sorry, I forget. It's just that everybody else on there is already spoiled. So
if any of you out there are not spoiled and are reading it, like, with us, like how I am, please join the Discord. You are who I need there, okay?
Oh, yeah, that would be fun to have more people like you.
And then we could talk. And you guys could make fun of us in a separate channel, and it would be great. Anyway, moving on. We need to stop getting distracted.
We totally do, though. You said something, and then we went over there, and we're like, ha, can you believe she just said that?
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Back to this chapter, which is what we're discussing. Yeah. Okay, so this is when the thing happens.
It's time for the battle to start, and Renly's like, let's go. But then he doesn't get a chance to go.
Yeah. I'm going to read this because it's so good. Although me reading, I'm not good at reading, so just bear with me. So, a sudden gust of wind flung open the door of the tent. She thought she glimpsed movement, but when she turned her head, it was only the king's shadow shifting against the silken walls. She heard Renly begin a jest, his shadow moving, lifting its sword, black on green, candles guttering, shivering. Something was queer, wrong, and then she saw
that part's not in my book. No. There was like, okay, after it goes from candles guttering, shivering, and then she saw Renly's sword. It skips like 5 words.
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay, we've got to look into this because I don't want you to have like a half-assed version of these books. Okay, sorry. Then she saw Renly's sword still in its scabbard, sheathed still, but the shadow sword.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cold, Renly said in a small, puzzled voice. A heartbeat before the steel of his gorget parted like cheesecloth beneath the shadow of a blade that was not there. He had time to make a small, thick gasp before the blood came gushing out of his throat. Your Grace, no! Cried Brienne the Blue when she saw the evil flow, sounding as scared as any little girl. The king stumbled into her arms, a sheet of blood creeping down the front of his armor, a dark red tide that drowned his green and gold. More candles guttered out. Renly tried to speak, but he was choking on his own blood. His legs collapsed, and only Brienne's strength held him up. She threw back her head and screamed, wordless in her anguish. The shadow, something dark and evil had happened here, she knew, something that she could not begin to understand. Renly never cast that shadow. Death came in that door and blew the life out of him as swift as the wind snuffed out his candles.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's like, she's just like, oh, he's telling a stupid joke, and there's his shadow. Oh, he's pulled out his sword. But wait, he hasn't. What? It's like It's so sudden.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's wild.
And I wish I could do it justice by reading it better. And I wish the audiobook had done it justice. Because even if, like, I don't know, he wasn't getting the vibe for me. And also then he says Brian, and then I was like, oh, shut the fuck up,
right,
you know?
That's true. And also, you know what's funny?
It just takes
me out of the moment. You know how you said you think the seventh sept god is, like, related to, like, death or whatever? It's like, I think that was the only one that Catelyn...
No, not the seventh, the stranger.
Or, wasn't that the seventh one?
Oh, seventh, yes.
So it's funny, because I think that was one, because right at the end, she, like, goes through and prays to each one of them individually, and I think that was the one that she didn't pray to.
Yeah, even at the beginning, she was like, that's a cold god. I won't find any comfort there, so she just skips that
babe,
god.
Maybe you should have prayed to this dude.
He was really thinking
I don't think it would have worked, but it's just, like, one of those, maybe.
Yeah, so let's finish this up and then we'll actually talk about this moment. So Robar, Royce, and Emin Kai come bursting in, and, you know, they're like, oh, Brienne, why did you? And Catelyn's so shocked she can't even say anything. And Emin Kai, wait, I was going to say Emin Kai, but then I also wanted to say the Emin Guy, and I just made it Emin Kai. Yeah, Sir Emin's like, attacking Brienne. Brienne, like, somehow, you know, finds her conscience at the moment. Like, she's kind of snapped out of it and starts fighting him. Brienne is trying to hold Robar Royce back and is like, she didn't do it. I swear it. It was Stannis. The name was on her lips before she could think how it got there, but as she said it, she knew that it was true. And, oh gosh. Oh yeah, and one of, like, the lackey dudes, like, just one of the other men-at-arms is trying to light Brienne's cloak on fire, but it's so sodden with blood that it wouldn't catch flame.
Yeah, I want to know how that works. Like, why does blood, like, how does...
Because it's wet? I don't know.
No, but, like, no, I want to know the science of that. I don't, like, get it.
Okay, you're the science person. You look into that. I don't care. Like, maybe, like, given time, if he really held it to it, maybe it would. But he just, like, kind of shoves it at her cloak, and it doesn't work in that moment.
Yeah, but, like,
I don't know.
why?
What do you mean, why? If something's wet, will it catch on fire?
No, but, like, it, like, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Ignore me.
Anyway.
I'm just overthinking
Catelyn's
this
like,
slight detail for some reason.
I don't know the answer to that. You know, you're the science guy. You're Bill Nye the Science.
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay, yeah. So she's like, okay. She's trying to get Robar Royce to help Brienne, and she says, you have my word on my husband's grave and my honor as a Stark. And he finally is like, okay, I gotcha.
Stark honor.
Go. And she smacks the other dude. Well, not smacks, but, like, crashes one of the braziers over his head to get him to, like, back off. And they run off to... Well, they don't run off because she's specifically like, let's walk and keep her cool so that nobody's like, what's going on? But behind them, as they're walking away, the tent is just slowly catching on more and more on fire, and it's just blazing by the time they reach Catelyn's people. And the whole camp, everybody's panicking, and there's, like, rumors going around, and it's a mess. And poor Brienne, she says, I never held him, but as he died. And it was so sad because she was so clearly very much in love with him. And while we know for many other reasons that would have never worked, but it's still sad, you know?
It's so sad.
Yeah. And she's, like, drenched in his blood at this point. So, yeah, they get to... Yeah. Oh no. She's like, what did you see what happened? And Catelyn's like, yeah, I saw a shadow, but I think it was Stannis's, but I don't know how. It doesn't make any sense. But Brienne is like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
Yes.
And Then they reach Catelyn's people.
You know what I have a name for this duo.
Which duo? Catelyn and Brienne?
Yeah.
What's the name?
ABCD. Because it's Brienne, Catelyn duo. ABCD.
Oh, that's really bad.
Well, it's cute. It's the ABCD. Whatever, Nav.
Let's take a vote. People,
ABCD.
Do you want us to call them ABCD?
I never
for
said
now?
no. I'm not gonna call them that. It was just like a fleeting thought.
But you said that's their name.
No, sorry, that's not what I meant. I don't want to call them that. That's like annoying to say. Yo, it's ABCD. Like, no, I'm not gonna say that. It was like a fun little connection. Anyway, don't bully me.
A Brienne and Catelyn duo reaches their horses, and they saddle up. And Catelyn's like, there won't be no battle because Renly's dead. We didn't kill him. We gotta go. And as they're leaving, she notices all the banners and all the people and all the armies. And she's like, all the power of Storm's End and Highgarden, the power that had been Renly's an hour ago. They belong to Stannis now, even if they do not know it. And then she remembers him saying that I am the rightful king, and your son is no less a traitor than my brother. His day will come as well.
We hate this. Okay, lots of thoughts. Ramble time.
Give him.
Okay, so like, first I was like, what? Okay, so the fact that Stannis can do this, and he has all these people now, is awful, because now he has the most power out of all. He has the most, like, I don't want to say manpower.
Okay, so
like fighting
first off,
power.
You do think it was Stannis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm like,
how did he do this?
Melisandre Magique vibes. That's my explanation. There was like a fun little ritual. And, like, you know, in the Dany chapter where, like, the ritual thing happened. Actually, no. I don't think this magic... Actually, no, it could involve rituals. We wouldn't know. Yes, there was, like, a fun little ritual in which Stannis, like, did a thing, and he was, like, there.
Like
and
what?
As the ritual was happening, he could, like, move and, like, do stuff as a shadow.
He did, like... Oh, hang on. So he's, like, sitting over in some tent, like...
Yeah.
In the ritual, while his shadow, goes and does this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think this is his actual physical shadow that he casts, but also, how did he cast a shadow? Oh, I guess fire. But I was gonna be like, but it was the middle of the night or just before dawn.
Okay.
I was gonna get logistical, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, if it's magic, it doesn't need that level of... But yeah, there is that level of logic there anyway, even if it doesn't... Anyway. Okay, but, like, no, that's happening, and so it's his shadow, and, so that happened, Renly died, so now he has the most, like, war power, and this additional, like, magic component, So Lannisters are gonna be like, what the heck? But also, you know what I'm wondering? So Catelyn and Brienne were there, and they, like, you know, left. And so, like, so first I was like, because the only person that knows about the shadow thing is that one person that Catelyn tried to convince. What was his name?
Robar Royce.
Robar Royce, right? But, like, that's, like, one person. And, like, he believed her. But, like, that's not going to do anything, I don't think. So I'm wondering if those... Like, is that going to... So I don't think that'll be a rumor that spreads. Like, I think it'll just be, like, Catelyn was there. Catelyn killed Renly because Renly wouldn't, like... Blah, 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 blah.
Be on her side.
Yeah, Catelyn killed Renly. She was mad. Blah, 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 blah. So it'll become, you know, this, like, whole Catelyn legend. And I think that also makes sense from Stannis' perspective. Because
Stannis wouldn't Stannis know that he himself is responsible as opposed to
he would, but it'll be good because then he'll still have that advantage of the Lannisters and Robb not knowing that he has this extra capability.
Right, but Catelyn's probably gonna go back and report it to Robb, though.
Yeah, but like, at least for the Lannisters, because
right,
because he doesn't think of Robb as a threat, as far as we know. Like, I think he thinks of the Lannisters as more of a
right.
So
and also the Lannisters have what he wants most, which is
exactly. Robb is like, I have to deal with you after, cause justice, you know?
Yeah.
But the Lannisters is like, I need to, you know, and he no longer has that shock factor of his army, because everyone's gonna know that he has this army now. So I think that'll be beneficial for him. Unfortunately.
Stannis is gonna go after the Lannisters next.
Yeah, I think.
How? But is he gonna fight a battle? Is he gonna?
Yeah, he's gonna
shadow.
He's gonna go there to like. He's gonna go there, and be like, "Let's fight," and then, But the thing is, where is he right now? He's there at the bottom. He has to pass.
Well, not at the bottom, but
I'm the south-ish vibes. He has to pass.
Look at your map. He's
Yeah, I know. I can visualize it. He has to pass. Like, he's not gonna get to King's Landing before passing like Robb or Tywin or someone. You know what I mean? So he
will.
How?
I gotta pull up a map.
No, I looked at the map though.
Where you're so. Whatever you're saying is not making any sense.
Can't he just... Oh, shit! I thought King's Landing was... Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ignore me! Ignore me! Ignore me! I am bad at geography, okay?
Yeah, clearly.
I said this since the very first day when you were like, what way's the wall? I was like, never eat soggy wheat, north.
Never eat soggy wheat? What?
Like the compass.
Wait, what?
Nav, how did you learn the directions on a compass?
I just knew them. Oh, NESW.
You've never learned that acronym? Everybody learned that acronym. That's how everybody learned it.
You just know it.
I've never known it. I think most school children have never known it.
Okay, well, I'm exceptional.
Wow, you're just superior. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I was severely mistaken.
I thought you were talking about the fact that you thought bran was a cereal, so I was like, is that why wheat? Like, what?
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, he'll definitely get there, so ignore me. Yeah, he's gonna go after the Lannisters, 100%.
Okay.
Easy. Easy.
Will he win the Iron Throne?
No.
Okay, he has all the magic, all the power. He won't win? How does that work?
I think...
Do this math for me.
I don't see him winning. I think maybe... Maybe like...
Can you see it a bit quicker? Because I gotta go eat.
I don't know. I just don't think it'll happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where is Catelyn heading?
Catelyn? Oh, yeah, where is Catelyn heading? Catelyn's gonna go back to where she thinks Robb is. Or no, she's gonna go to Riverrun because her, dying father. No, but then she also has she has to tell people about the magic. She's gonna go to where she thinks Robb is, which is at Riverrun, but then she's gonna go there and she's gonna find out Robb's not actually there.
Okay, so she's going to Riverrun. Hang on. You're making this too complicated. Okay, Brienne is going with her. What's Brienne gonna be doing?
Brienne's gonna, be seeking vengeance.
On Stannis?
Yes. And...
Okay.
Yeah, Stannis.
Is Robb in danger of Stannis killing him via shadow?
Totally. Not...
But, like, immediately?
No.
Not immediately, but, like, soon?
No.
Okay. I guess because, like, the Lannisters are Stannis' priority, so he's gonna work on that first.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
Cool.
Well then, let's read an email and then we can wrap this up. Okay, this email is from Victoria. The title is Response to Your Comments on My Last Email. So, hey Nav and Harmat, I finally finished listening to your most recent episode in which you responded to my previous 2 emails. And to answer your questions, my pronouns are her, she. Love that, Harmat.
Yes!
Thank you, Victoria, for sharing.
I love you, Victoria. Yes.
And I have not read the Dresden Files because Victoria recommended a book series by Jim Butcher. And I was like, I've read this other series and I'm not sure about him. But alas, she hasn't read it. So thus, I cannot compare how Butcher describes his female characters in both book series. I have not noticed it being overly sexual in Codex Alara, but honestly, I'm not as sensible as I should be when it comes to identifying this. If you ever read the books, I would love to hear your opinion. They are on my TBR. It's just I have a really long TBR.
Oh my gosh.
And she continues, thank you, Harmat, for sharing how it can be when you are a fan of a story but cannot remember the details very well.
Oh my gosh, do you relate to that? I love it. I love it. Okay, I love this person so much.
Her next sentence is, I can relate to that.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Other people exist. Okay, cool. Yay.
Also, with Game of Thrones, I love it, but sometimes people talk about a topic in the Discord server and I can't remember it ever happening, or I'm hazy on the details. That always makes my imposter syndrome flare up. Yay.
Oh my gosh, I love
she's saying this.
I love you. Thank you.
So it feels good to know that you had similar experiences. I want to emphasize that the imposter syndrome thing is my problem and it has nothing to do with the great community in the Discord server. As always, I'm looking forward to your next episode. All the best, Victoria. Thank you, Victoria.
Oh
and you don't have to feel that way in any way. This is like fictional worlds is where I escape to from like real world. So that's why I like just read up on random things, and we love your input. Any input you have, just we're there to talk about what we like, and it's okay if you don't remember everything. That's a totally normal thing. And Harmat has an ally in that now, so
yes. Oh my gosh, I feel so understood. Oh my gosh, guys, today and yesterday have been such good days, and this is just like, yes, someone in the world understands this. Thank you.
Yeah, but we're so glad to have you on the Discord server, Victoria, seriously. And yeah, that's the end of the email.
And we still need to do next chapters. We almost forgot.
Shit! What is with me?
Yeah.
This is like the 3rd time in a row or something, right?
Not in a row, but in the last little bit we've been forgetting a lot.
Yeah, okay, thank you for reminding. See, I forget things too. So next time we're reading 3 chapters, chapters 34, 35, and 36. Give me your predictions, hopes, whatever.
I would like to see. I don't know why that got so aggressive.
Operatic.
Who would I like to see? I would like to see, Daenerys.
Okay.
Jon. And
shocker.
And Davos.
I want to see Davos because then you'd get Stannis' side of this, hopefully.
Yeah. Watch Davos be like, I'm on a mission. Oh no, because Davos is on a mission. Oh no, Davos was on a mission a while ago. The letters have already been delivered. That was eons ago.
That's true. But we didn't see him with Stannis during that rendezvous that Stannis and Renly had.
So maybe he isn't back yet. But also he's not that important. Like, he wouldn't be right there. Like, to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just Melisandre and him. So
he could just be, like, back in camp at that point.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Okay, so you got one. Chapter 34 is Jon.
Yay!
So they were just leaving Craster's. What are they doing now?
They're vibing. They're going to the
Frostfangs?
Yes. There we go. Totally forgot.
Okay. All right. They're just on their way to the Frostbanks, and that's what happens.
Sir.
Cool. I'm okay with that. Next chapter is Bran.
Bran the man!
So when we last saw him, he was getting real aggressive.
Yeah. Hashtag Theon vibes.
No, not at all.
That's not what I meant. No, sorry, I wasn't comparing.
Oh, you mean that Theon's gonna be around? Yeah. I thought you meant Bran
I didn't.
Theon
vibes. Not at all. Yeah, I said that at the wrong moment. It implied the wrong thing.
Yeah, you totally did.
but now that I think about it, it's too quick. No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll just be like the people are about to leave, and he'll be like, "Don't leave. I hate the phrase."
Okay. That's such a consistent thing, though. Okay. Oh, he got that prophecy kind of from, Mira was like, my brother saw that Maester Lewin will serve you choice meat, but you won't like it. But the Freys will get bad meat, and they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Anything relating to that?
I think it's just like a general thing of him being, dissatisfied, and the phrase being like, ooh, we're in Winterfell. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Not fair, because that's not really the vibe.
Okay,
with
fine.
Prophecies here, but...
So, okay, but like the prophecy doesn't have to happen right away. Like,
okay, that is fair.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with the, it's just the general vibe.
No, but it is the general vibe too. But there's more to it.
Yeah, because he's the prince, and they're just like the 10th Frey in the line.
Yeah.
20th probably, but...
Yeah.
Okay, after that, we've got Tyrion.
Tyrion's like our main character at this point, honestly. Tyrion's vibing. Chain vibes. Politician enjoying his little power trek. He'll find out about the Stannis thing. He'll probably do something about that.
Okay.
Get his chain ready. Yeah, do all that.
We haven't heard of the chain in a while.
Yeah, get his Dorne people to come support him, because he's gonna need the extra people for sure. Yeah.
That's true.
Pull on those alliances a little. Go off.
Pull on the alliances. I heard lances, and I was like, what lances?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's fair. Okay. I love saying that's fair, apparently.
Yes, you do.
And I love saying salvage today.
Yes.
So let us salvage this episode and end it right here.
That's funny.
Because I am getting loopy. So yeah, y'all join us on Discord.
Yes.
It's fun. And email us, popculturesymposium@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram @popculturesymposium. And
join the Discord.
Oh, I said that already.
Oh, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I thought you said it, but then I wasn't listening, so I didn't know if you said it for sure. I'm sorry.
In case you forgot, we have a Discord. In case Harmat hasn't reminded you about 20 times in this episode.
Hey, it's called being a good market lady.
Market lady. We gotta make you a little t-shirt with the...
Yes.
Oh, I have so many images in my head. Okay, wrap it up. Okay, until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.
It's like you sneezed in the middle of that, but you were really just out of breath.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay, my stomach hurts. Stop making fun of me. Okay, Harmat, calm down. Talk to you later. I think that was the worst one.
You're talk to me. Talk to me later. Okay, end the recording.
Okay, talk to you later.